你好，我叫孟春。我们今天看到的音乐会有云南互联网社。The house in Yunnan was located in Xizang by the three parallel rivers: Dan, Dizao, Fangzi, Han, Guizhou, Hebei, Zhongguo, Zhongfu, Ama. 怀龙的和他的妻子决定马上接受房子并引起搬到西附近亚洲，以及会向人们传授有关接受房子的文化。至少房子现在把工作介绍教学、中国文化和中国人民艺术。房子邀请儿童和学生前来看看和了解文化，并看见文化活动。My classmates and I visited the home in October. We learned about the house, ate food, and took part in working in the house.
你好，我叫 Cadet Arnold，我在Virginia Military Institute 上大学。In October, me and my fellow classmates visited the Chinese folk house. 我知道作为永久的制作代表的不同文化，制作房子提倡了三个不同的文化 ：the Nashi, the Bai, and the French. The Nashi were the historic leaders of the village the house was originally located in. Interestingly, they were a matriarchal society, which means that the mothers were the head of the household. The sons of a family would leave their homes and would marry into a wife's family, because all wealth and possessions would be passed down to their daughters. The Bai were an ethnic group that are known for their carpentry. They were the group that designed and built this house. Their influence is illustrated in the timber framing technique that is shown throughout the house. None of the framing is held together by nails, but instead a complex system of stacking logs. The French were French missionaries that came to the Yunnan province in the late 19th century and brought with them Catholicism. Many people in the Yunnan province embraced Catholicism, and this can be illustrated in the crosses located on the front door of the house. 你好，华友达。So I just want to talk about like the different cultures that were here. I was really interested on how you said there's like 3 different ethnic groups that were represented in this this village. So can you tell me about that a little bit?
Yeah, so the people who lived here in the house were Tibetan people. And then historically, the chieftain of this area was a Nashi. Nashi is a different ethnic group.
That's the warrior.
Yeah, the warrior ethnic group, right. And then there were a lot of Bai people there. Bai are the carpenters who built the house. And there are other ethnicities that live in that region. There's actually 8 different nationalities that live in Sejong.
Did each ethnicity have a specific job?
No, generally the carpenters were Bai carpenters. The local people, the Tibetans, were farmers. But yeah, the specialty occupation is really the carpenters from Zhenchuan County.
And then the Nashing were...
They were mostly, they were administrators,
So they weren't just soldiers, they were like the government's representatives and everything.
Exactly.
Okay. And then you also talked about the French influence.
Yeah, in the 1860s, the French went up the Mekong River and they built a church in Sejong, and in that area, a village just downstream from it. But yeah, and so about 80% of the population in Sejong are Catholic.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, and the church is like the center of their community.
I really like the cross on the front. It's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But thank you very much, sir.
You bet.
Ni hao, Ling Lao Shi.
Ni hao.
I found the pomegranate very interesting. Can you tell me about that again real quick?
Yeah, okay, so they put it right front and center, so it has to be an important message, right?
Yes.
So I wouldn't have known that that was a pomegranate, except for I know that if you slice across a pomegranate, that is the pattern of the filaments that make the pomegranate a pomegranate. But what they're really alluding to here is the most salient feature of the pomegranate, which is seeds, right?
Yeah.
Everybody who eats a pomegranate knows it's all about the seeds. Well, in Chinese, 'zi' for seed, zongzi is seed, is a homonym with 'erzi', which is son. So to have many seeds is a metaphor for having many sons.
So my question is,
Uh-huh.
Huai Yodao, that's his name,
Huai
right?
Yodao,
He
yeah.
was talking about the Jia Ge Biren or Buren, and then Shu Yi the Shufu or Shifu, which is like give the son away or give the daughter away.
Give the daughter away.
So I'm assuming this meant that at this time they would give the sons out to the daughters of the village and then marry off.
Sort of. What happens in China is it tends to be patrilineal. It's not patriarchal. It could also be patriarchal. But patrilineal means that when you get married, you stay with the father's family.
Yeah.
You always live with your father. You never move away after you go to college or anything. You stay. You always go back home. You keep the family line. Daughters move in with their husbands.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, that's why you want sons instead of daughters, because you're going to lose your daughters.
We also talked about matrilineal or
There is in Tibet. There's more
Yeah.
of it, and in some remote places they do more matrilineal.
would they do a different symbol then? Do you think it would be different than the pomegranate?
They'd probably still think of it basically the same way.
Okay.
They're just thinking it is going.
many
they still want
children.
many children.
Many children.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That was very educational.
Oh, good.
你好，我叫李小龙 or Chaz Downs，我是VMI 大学生，我是4年级，我今天要聊天那个房子的 architectural 风水。So, an important part of Chinese architecture is feng shui. To picture this, it's like the flow of energy naturally. So try to imagine like water, like the rain coming down on a mountain, that it all goes like down into the valleys and into the river, and it makes one like flowing stream naturally. So that's some of the things you see in this house, and the energy is called the qi. So, 就是like 生气 the qi. And this ancient practice involves like the placement of buildings where they align like most naturally. Like it, and for example, like in this house in particular, the front gate is located in a pretty odd place from like a Westerner's perspective. Like that was one of the questions I had when I came to visit. So when you walk in, when you go through that front gate, it's kind of like you're not like it doesn't go like into the foyer like it does in a traditional like Western home. It kind of faces like a wall and like not the center of the home, and it kind of brings your attention like into the courtyard and looking up at the house. And so that is a really good example of feng shui in the Chinese folk house here in Harper's Ferry. And then 在那个房子他们有很多风水的例子。第二是 the upper porch, 朝南, so it faces south. And this is to improve the sunlight exposure throughout the day. It keeps the energy good, keeps the plants growing, and overall it's good for the feng shui. It keeps the energy right.